So a question I get asked a lot is what kind of plugins can I get that are the best value that I can get online that can cover the whole production process. And today I want to show you the plugins that I highly recommend, which are from iZotope and from Native Instruments. And good thing they are forming an alliance and they have an amazing special and they have an amazing deal where you can get some Native Instruments plugins and also iZotope plugins at the same time. So what you get is the Music Production Suite 4.1, and then you also get Native Instruments Komplete 13. This is an amazing, like, not to miss kind of deal that you want to get right now. So I'm gonna show you guys what comes with this package, and then I'm gonna show you how I use it in my own productions. And for full disclosure, they are sponsoring this video so I can show you guys how you can use what you get in these packages. So as you can see, you can get the Music Production Suite 4.1 plus Komplete 13, and it was $1,598, but right now you can get it for $699. So they actually took off like a whole $900 off the normal price of this whole package. So what do you get? What are the things that are included inside this? So what you get is you get Ozone 9, Neutron 3 Advanced, you get R4, you get Nectar, you get RX9, you get Stutter Edit, you get Vocal Synth, Neoverb, Insight, Tonal Balance 2, and Nimbus by Exponential Audio. And then you also get 65 instruments and effects, 20 plus expansion packs, 35,000 sounds. I mean, come on. You also get Massive X, Reactor, and also Contact. Make sure to check the link down below this video to find out how you can get this and get more information on what you can get if you're trying to get this package. So I'm going to show you a track that I have here laid out. I'm going to be using iZotope plugins to mix and carve these sounds and make them sound good. So this is how the track is sounding right now. So this is the sound that I have. That's kind of the main chords of this track. I used a layer of Super 8 and also Massive X. So this is the Super 8 plugin. So I just turned down the level of the sound a little bit. And then I layered it with a sound from Massive X, which is kind of a mallet sound, which sounds like this. And together they sound like this. And I feel like this sound that I have with Massive X, I can maybe use some reverb. I can use Neoverb from iZotope. And what's awesome about Neoverb is that you can EQ before the reverb and after the reverb. So you have a reverb EQ and a pre-EQ. So I can change the character of the reverb like that. If I want to roll off all the low end, I can do that. Or I can even use the auto cut function or the reverb assistant. And there's also a lot of presets as well that you can pick up here and just try out if you want to. So that's something that's really cool. I think I'm gonna take out some of the high end. And some of those low mids. And I can blend between different reverb types like that. And then maybe increase the hall a little bit. And drop down the plate. That sounds pretty good. And then I also have Absinthe right here. And I think I want it to be a little bit more wider. That sounds pretty good. So I can come here into spaces and I can choose this back large hall preset. And I just drop the wet and dry level, the mix level down a little bit. So I just made the sound a lot more wider than it was. So if I come back here and I play you how the sound was before, sounds like this. And now with the reverb, it is much wider. And then I have this sound over here, which is from Massive X. I like how that sounds like, but I want to change a little bit of the tone of the sound. So I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna add maybe Neutron. With Neutron, you can use the mix assistant if you want to, and you can also open the presets if you want, and then you can pick some presets that you think you want to use. So I can maybe go to synth and I can cycle the synth presets and find a preset that works. I like this muddy cleanup. Just gonna raise the threshold of the compression here. And then I also have a sound which is coming from the Super 8 right there. So this is the sound here. I added a little bit of glide on the preset. And if you want, you can also play around with the filter envelopes here to make the sounds move. Like if you play around with the attack and the decay. But I wanted this sound to be really nice and short, like that. And if I want to, I can also play around with the filter. I think about there is fine. And if we come to the section where we have our bass, which sounds like this. And what I did was I added another layer of Massive, like the classic Massive, the first version of Massive, which is just adding some sub frequencies from this preset Boss Sub to add a lot of bottom end. But now it's kind of clashing with this GMS sound here. So I'm gonna come into the sound and go to the mixer. And what I can do is I can go to my plugins, to my effects. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna load up an EQ from Neutron, and then I'm gonna use this EQ to cut off the low frequencies here. Just like that, to take out some of those low frequencies. And if I want, I can duck down this frequency right here in the mid-range. Just like that. And I don't like the reverb that's on this plugin, so I'm gonna turn it off. And then I'm gonna use Neoverb. Then drop down the mix. just adjust the frequency of the reverb so that it's kind of dark, like that. I like how that sounds, so let's hear it in the track. So I actually want to add a little bit of more gain to this sound here. Because of the EQ, it's kind of feeling weak, so I can throw on a compressor right here. And then I can drop the threshold. And then I can raise the makeup. If I feel like it's too much, I can play around with the mix right here. So you can see how much gain reduction is happening right here. I think that's much better. And then I also have this sound here from the Super 8 that also comes in a little bit later. And now I can work on my sounds, which are the drum sounds that I'm gonna play here, right here at the beginning. So I'm just gonna loop the section here and just solo the kick. So what I can do is I can load a Neutron 3 right here. And then I can go into the presets, and then I can scroll down, and then I can come here to kicks, and then I can cycle the presets and see which preset will turn the kick into something that I'm interested in, to give me kind of a good starting point with my kick. I kind of like this add click preset, so I'm gonna use that. You can see here it added an EQ, a transient shaper, and a compressor. I'm just going to drop the mix of the transient shaper to take off a little bit of that click out and drop the EQ a little bit. And maybe raise the threshold. And then maybe I can add an equal. Maybe I can add a sculpture right there. And then come to percussion and come to kick, just so it can tame some of these frequencies over here. So this is without, this is with. And I can play around with the intensity like that. Now my clap. I think I want some reverb on this clap, so I'm gonna add some neo-verb. Okay, that's a bit much. So let's go here to the presets, and I can go to percussion, and I can come here to, let's say, a clean snare plate. I think I like that, but it's a tad too much, so I'm just gonna drop down the mix of wet and dry signal. So this is without. Feel how wide that just got. That sounds so much better. And then I'm gonna come to this loop here, to these percussion sounds here, and then I'm gonna add a neutron. And then I'm gonna come here, and I'm gonna go to percussion. I like this hi-hat processing, or maybe let me try this layer percussion. I think I like that better. Oh, that sounds good. I can increase the intensity like that. I can see that it's adding some low frequencies here, so I'm just gonna cut that out. so I can trim that out so it only affects the high end section of the sound, because you can see it's cutting off the low frequencies here by the EQ. And maybe drop down the compressor a little bit more. Okay, maybe not that much, like that. I'm gonna let this second compressor just catch the peaks, like that. So this is without. Sounds boring. And then with, that sounds more full. And then what I can do is I can also add maybe a neo verb. And then just drop the mix. Then I can cut out the high frequencies here on the reverb EQ. Just like that. I think that sounds way better. Another plugin that I like to use from iZotope is Insight 2. I can use Insight 2 so that I can check my levels and I can see what's really going on with all my sounds and even on my master bus. So when you open it, it opens up the preset window right here, and you can pick audio analysis, loudness metering, or music production. So it just depends with what you want to see. And if I click here on Critical Spectrum Analyzer, I can see the frequencies like that. And if I come here to frequency levels, I can see everything that's going on in the track. I have my loudness, I have my spectrum, I have my spectrogram, and I also have my levels right here. So I can have an idea of exactly what's going on with my track. So this helps me know if everything is too loud. I can just make sure that I drop all my levels down like that. Then I can just drop them down like this. And I can just come back and take a look. Now we have some good headroom there that we can work with. And now that we have an idea of what's going on in the track, I'm gonna drop my Insight down here and I'm just gonna disable it, and then I'm gonna load on Ozone 9. And what you can do with Ozone 9 is dope. You can use the master assistant, and then you can use the AI algorithm to help you master your track, or you can use some presets to give you somewhere to start. I sometimes like to use the presets or use the master assistant, but the presets are really nice because it gives you some options to choose, more options to actually choose depending with what you feel works for the track. So if I play the track and I just start cycling, okay, I kind of like how this preset is sounding. I think I can start here. So I like how this preset sounds. It sounds nice and bright, and it cut off a lot of low end that we don't need right there. And it also added some dynamics, a compressor right there, and it also added a maximizer for some volume. I can drop down the threshold of the maximizer. And what I want to add here is I also want to add an imager before the maximizer right there. I'm going to play with these bands here, and what I want to do is I want to mono the low bands, the low frequencies a little bit, and spread out the high mids. also widen some of these low mids as well. I'm not gonna touch the high frequencies, I just wanna leave them as they are. And I like that I can also see this polar sample here. It also tells me the phase. So if anything goes below this 0 here, if the sound goes or my master goes below 0 here, then I'm gonna have phase issues in terms of when the beat or the music is being played on like a mono system or something like that. I'm gonna have phase cancellation. So +1 is the safest place I want it to be, and I can also make it learn the frequency cutoff here. I think that's good. And if you click on plus, you can see a lot of other things. You also have low end focus that can put this behind the imager. If you really want to add some punchiness and some low end focus to your track, if you really want to get that track to really bang and give it a lot more low end. I can also solo and make it listen. So I can hear just the low end. Okay, that's a bit much. Let me drop it down a little bit. And if I want, I can also add maybe a dynamic EQ right there, just before the maximizer, just to control certain frequencies. I wanted to control a little bit of my low end. What's awesome about this dynamic EQ is that you can also change it to mid side as well. So if I select mid and side, you can see the mid and the side. So if I want to, I can play around with that. So maybe my sides, I can take out some low frequencies and also boost some of the high end on the side. Leave the mids as they are, and I'll just keep it as is. So I can bypass. This is where we're coming from, and this is where we're at right now. And I'll just raise my threshold a little bit. Just drop my kick down a little bit. And that's it. I think it's sounding amazing, and I just wanted to show you what you can do with these plugins if you do get these award-winning plugins from iZotope and from Native Instruments. You can make amazing music. So make sure you check out this offer. It's only active up until March 22nd. 2022, so make sure to get it now if you can. I feel like these are the plugins that you want to invest in: the Music Production Suite 4.1 and the Native Instruments Complete. You get everything you need that covers everything from composition to mixing and mastering, and this is what the pros use. So make sure to take advantage of these huge savings. And a big shout out to iZotope for sponsoring this video. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm X, and I'm out. Peace.